Welcome back, Hoops fans. Today, we're diving deep into the college basketball landscape, breaking down Wednesday, November 19, 2025, and uncovering the best bets and predictions for the day. But first, let's take a quick look back at yesterday's action to see where the season stands and what we've learned. On the team front, a shakeup in the ban list is always a story in itself. The Ivy League, previously on the list, gets the boot, and in comes a new blue blood, the University of Kentucky. After yesterday's performance, it was clear that this team's struggles couldn't go unnoticed. Kentucky suffered a tough loss, and it earns a spot on the ban list today. But before we get to the picks, let's recap yesterday's games and the lessons they taught us. Drexel at home against NJIT was probably the most satisfying call of the day. Drexel came in as a heavy favorite at -9.5, and the game played out perfectly for the predictions. NJIT's shooting was simply shocking, hitting just 12 of 52 from the field and 3 of 24 from three-point range, finishing with 43 points total. Their turnovers outnumbered their made baskets, and the game ended 75-43 in Drexel's favor. Drexel didn't exactly light up the scoreboard either, shooting 43% from the field and 32% from three, but their control of the boards and turnovers was enough to seal the win. Shout out to the Dragons for delivering on this one. In the IU Indy vs Charleston Southern matchup, the over 189.5 points bet came into play. IU Indy opened as a favorite unexpectedly, but the game turned into a wild one, ending 103-91 in favor of Charleston Southern. IU Indy staged a second-half comeback, winning 50-42, but ultimately fell short by 12. Despite that, the over bet landed successfully, reminding us that even high-variance games can offer value if you read the flow correctly. Murray State at home against Little Rock was another highlight. With Murray State favored by -14.5, they dominated the game from the start, winning 89-68. A 20-point halftime lead set the tone, and their 51% shooting from the field and 47% from deep proved their efficiency. This Murray State squad is one to watch. They have upcoming games against solid competition, and if they remain flawless, a 28-5 finish is within reach. But not every prediction hit. Kentucky, as expected, faltered badly against Michigan State in a neutral site clash. Michigan State shot a remarkable 50% from the field and three, out-rebounded Kentucky by 14, and cruised to an 83-66 victory. Kentucky struggled from start to finish, hitting just 35% from the field and 23% from deep. It was a brutal reminder that talent alone doesn't guarantee results. Holy Cross also fell short against Brown, losing 68-49, and IU Indy, as mentioned, lost despite flashes of promise. These games remind us that college basketball is unpredictable, and even the best bets carry risk. Now let's start today's slate, in the Southeast, where Chattanooga is heading to South Carolina State. On paper, this looks like a mismatch, and the numbers back it up. South Carolina State has had a rough start to the season, struggling to find rhythm on offense and shooting just 34% from the field. Losses have piled up, and defensive lapses have been glaring. Meanwhile, Chattanooga is only 1-3, but this team is quietly building something solid. Transfers have added depth, size in the backcourt and frontcourt gives them versatility, and their overall talent level is ready to take advantage of a team like South Carolina State. With the Cats as -9.5 favorites, this feels like a textbook opportunity to back the road team with both confidence and value. Traveling north, we have a classic Ohio rivalry with Youngstown State taking on Toledo. Rivalry games are always tricky, but this one presents a compelling edge. Toledo may have a history of strong programs, yet this year their roster leans heavily on transfers and inexperience. Youngstown State, on the other hand, has a 7-foot senior center who can control the paint and dictate the interior game. With Toledo sitting at just 2-2 and Youngstown State narrowly favored at +1.5, the Penguins are well positioned to cover the spread. Expect the big man to dominate inside, and watch for Youngstown State to exploit gaps in Toledo's rotation and chemistry. Over in South Bend, Notre Dame is set to host Bellereman in what appears to be another one-sided affair. Notre Dame is coming off a tough, tight loss on the road to Ohio State, but the silver lining is that they get an opportunity to rebound against a struggling opponent. Bellereman has shown vulnerabilities all season, going 1-3 with inexperienced starters and size issues that will be difficult to overcome against a veteran Notre Dame squad. With fifth-year transfers anchoring the roster and backcourt players capable of controlling tempo, Notre Dame at -27.5 is a pick that feels as certain as any you'll see this week. This is a chance for a confident moneyline bet, and a team that knows how to enforce pace and exploit weaknesses will likely dominate from tip-off. Out west, Wyoming heads to Sam Houston in a matchup that's brimming with intrigue. Wyoming has come out firing this season, undefeated at 4-0, and their efficiency is impressive, 48% shooting from the field, 38% from beyond the arc, and a roster full of transfers who can adapt to different styles of play. Sam Houston, by contrast, has been inconsistent, with wins only against lower division teams. The Cowboys' fast tempo and ability to stretch defenses with shooting make them a tough puzzle to solve. The pick here is Wyoming plus 2.5 along with the overhitting 157.5 points. Expect a high-energy game with back-and-forth scoring and a team that knows how to exploit defensive lapses. Meanwhile, Dayton travels to Marquette with plus 5.5 points in what could be one of the more intriguing underdog plays of the week. Dayton has shown resilience and composure early in the season, while Marquette has struggled to replace key contributors from last year. Historical trends also favor backing underdogs in scenarios where favorites appear overvalued, and Shaka Smart's teams have a tendency to underperform in covering spreads. Dayton represents both value and potential upside, not just on the spread but on the moneyline as well. This is a game where strategy and understanding situational dynamics could pay off big. Beyond the main slate, a few, almost bets, are worth keeping an eye on. Arizona at plus 5.5 on the road against Yukon could offer some hidden value. Alabama plus 3.5 at Illinois paired with an over of 180.5 points is an enticing look, and Jacksonville State minus 3.5 versus South Alabama might quietly surprise. These games all present angles where matchup inefficiencies, inexperienced opponents, or favorable pacing could tip the scales for savvy bettors. College basketball isn't just about the final score, it's a puzzle that unfolds game by game. Every matchup teaches us something about shooting percentages, turnovers, size advantages, and coaching tendencies. Those who pay attention and look for these edges turn prediction into strategy rather than luck. Today's slate is no exception, packed with opportunities for those willing to dig a little deeper, analyze carefully, and anticipate where the game can swing. So if you're serious about staying ahead of the curve in college hoops, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. Every game is an opportunity to sharpen your strategy, every matchup a chance to uncover an edge that others overlook. Join the conversation, dive into the picks, and let's see how this thrilling day of college basketball unfolds. Stay sharp, watch closely, and remember, winning is about more than luck. It's about insight, preparation, and taking advantage of every opportunity the season presents.